to you wherever you are watching us from. This is Mlc Tv News Hour. We are reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, Kogi State. I am Sharifat Mohammed. The headlines. Federal government grants citizenship to 286 foreign nationals. Kogi State government launches Kogi Open Governance and Accountability System and the Kogi Digital Album. Ondo to begin prison, police custody, decongestion, and NDLEA raids Abuja Gardens. Arrest guests for drinking cannabis tea. Now the news in detail. The Federal Executive Council has approved the granting of citizenship to 286 foreign nationals residing in the country. Minister of Interior Obeni Rauf Arebosola, who disclosed this to State House correspondents at the end of the virtual FEC meeting, presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari at the Council Chamber, Presidential Villa Abuja, said 600 foreigners applied. The minister stated that he presented to the council the approval made by the Advisory Committee on Nigeria Citizenship, comprising the first set. He explained that another set was expected to be presented by the end of the first quarter or in the middle of the year. He said they received 600 applications from several people, foreign nationals who are in Nigeria, who have been residing in Nigeria. They are desirous to be Nigerians. The minister said the advisory committee approved 286 for FEC consideration of the 200 applications received. Arebosola further explained that the grant of Nigerian citizenship is in two categories. Some will be considered for naturalization, and there are those to be considered for registration. It will be the second time under the life of the present administration that foreign nationals are granted citizenship through naturalization. It was in a record that a total of 335 persons were similarly granted citizenship in December 2017. Kogi State Government has launched the State Open Governance and Accountability Systems, an online application designed to hold public office holders accountable to the people of the state. The government has also launched, along with the Kogi State Digital Album, where all government projects and achievements are archived. The Commissioner for Information and Communication, Kingsley Fanwo, whose ministry will continue to manage the data processing and information gathering, said it will be an opening social interaction with the populace, newsmen within and outside the state to the rest of the world. Our reporter has more.
The Kogi State Governor Yaya Bello has reiterated his administration to continue to project and promote transparency as a tool to build a corrupt-free system of governance. He said his administration through Kogi Open Governance and Accountability System (KOGAS) will be a hub for information generation and a stopover search to react or to send feedback to all government officials who are directly involved in the dealings and management of the affairs of the state. Governor Bello, represented by his deputy Edward Onoja, gave the assurance during the official unveiling of the KOGAS application and the digital album in Government House, Lokoja.
We are back-to-back leaders in meeting the indices of transparent governance set and evaluated by the World Bank State's Fiscal Transparency, Accountability and Sustainability SIFTAS program. In fact, we are the only state which has ever scored 100% in the annual evaluation process. This is only possible when functionaries at all levels are tasked with heightened responsiveness to citizens in the conduct of all official business. As I see it, all of us in the administration must be open to endless scrutiny by those we serve. In fact, we must require it as a key performance indicator in our service compact. The Kogi State Digital Album and the Conference Business Directory are also being unveiled today. The digital album will be a repository of images with pictures of government activities, programs, and projects to tell our stories. The directory will be a yellow pages for finding businesses operating in Kogi State and enhancing their reach.
According to the governor, a responsible government must embrace transparency and accountability at all times. He guaranteed free access to state information, urging that all matters raised must be attended to within 24 hours of every request or feedback posted by the people.
Every appearance of non-transparency is haram and anathema in this government. You are a public servant, not the high priest of a secret society or a capo of a cult. Shadowiness in official business is liable to get you sacked, prosecuted, or both. What we intend to achieve with Kogas is to enlist the public more intimately in the policing of government and her accoutrements. In essence, we are giving our people the tools they need to play the active role of watchdogs of our officials, ministries, departments, and agencies. The Kogi State Ministry of Information and Communication will deploy Kogas for round-the-clock live interactions and feedback to and from the public per the standard operating procedures. The ministry will put every part of government on the platform. It may help those who may want to resist this change to know that Kogas will also be monitored in real time from my office through my chief of staff via a bi-weekly compliance analysis and status reports put together by our research and development unit known as the New Direction Blueprint team. I officially unveil the Kogi State's Open Governance and Accountability System, KOGAS, Kogas, along with the digital album of Kogi State, as well as the yellow pages, that's the directory. To the glory of God and to the benefit of all of Kogi's people. Thank you, God bless you.
The governor called on the Ministry of Information to create more awareness of the program, commended the commissioner, Kingsley Fawo, for the development. Kingsley Fawo said the state government has provided an enabling environment of bridging the gap between the people and the government.
What this platform is going to do is to put all of us on the spot, including the governor himself. His column is there. So you can ask him questions about what he is doing. You can ask him questions which can also refer to the ministry. The deputy governor is there. You can ask him questions directly. And he will come to respond to you because you elected him. Therefore, he is accountable to you. And that is what we are building in Kogi State. All the ministries, agencies, and parastatals have their columns on Kogas. You can go there, for instance, and ask the Commissioner for Environment. I saw some filth at Phase 2 Junction. When are you going to pack them? The Commissioner must respond to you, not only by typing his response, but by telling the right authorities to immediately go there, because the people that elected Yahaya Bello are saying it must be removed.
He encouraged the people to visit the Kogas website to get first-hand information, noting that it has created an opportunity for the people to share ideas and contribute positively towards the development of the state. The consultant, Wale Aguda, said Kogas will help the people and the government to interact better, and that the digital album within Kogas will archive all old, new and future of the state.
An aggregation of different systems. It consists of 5 systems, and they all come together to speak one language, to give room for participatory governance. So it's not just people on the high table being in charge alone, but everybody and all stakeholders now having a say in how they are governed and in how they are led. We enjoin you all to please support this government. They're a serious set of people. They are focused, and I want to just continue to enjoin us to continue to give them our best.
He said completed and ongoing projects shall be stored also for easy access on the ability the digital world has given to always at the comfort of your homes search to get required information and to ascertain the level of infrastructure and social development going on in the state anytime. How Kogi's will function was highlighted.
ICT will now impact government by improving responsiveness, because now Kogi's will have the means, they will have the tools to actually respond to queries, to actually put their queries, their complaints directly to government officials that are actually involved. It also increases efficiency. It actually increases the efficiency of the agencies within the state, and also enhance government practices, because now the government also has a tool to also pass information to Kogi's and other states, because there are times that Kogi state will actually collaborate with other states, meaning people or citizens of other states can now go on to Kogi to see what Kogi is actually doing, to see what the agencies within Kogi are actually doing, and it's actually that ease of information. Like the speaker, my elder brother, the elder speaker said, it is access to information. Kogi's now have that access to information, which is what actually takes place in other clients. Go to any part of the world, you will see people filling forms to actually register a business. You will see people filling forms to actually register a birth, to actually register death, to actually register so many things. This is a step in the right direction. This is what we've been advising the federal government to do, and we're quite happy that Kogi State, under the leadership of Dr. Yahaya Bello, has actually taken the bull by the horn to ensure that this actually happens, and we're quite glad about it.
To study this art, the way these will be in very strong reference point, especially for inspectors, like reporting. And at times we do have a difficulty in accessing information, especially in the digital world now.
The Secretary to the State Government, Folashade Ayo-Ade, described the innovation as commendable, calling on the people to make good use of the application.
Everybody is convinced of the fact that if you can achieve this much in a state, it will achieve better at the national level. And I want to challenge every one of us to please pray along with him. Pray for His Excellency Alhaji Yahaya Bello. He has a vision for Nigeria. He has a better mission for Nigeria. And together, with our prayers, we will tell God to please let him get there.
The head of service, Anna Odio, and all other top government functionaries were present. Laptops were distributed to all ministry public relations officers to further enhance them with the delivering without excuse whatsoever towards realizing the objectives of Kogi's in the state. The government charged the people to always send relevant information to the platform. Faith Abdulgafar reporting for Mlc TV.
House of Representatives has forced a member, Simon Atigbe, People's Democratic Party, Enugu, to withdraw a bill seeking to bar workers in the health sector from embarking on industrial action. According to the House, the proposal, which failed its second reading at the plenary, was against the provision of the Constitution. The legislation is titled A Bill for an Act to Amend the Trade Dispute Act, CAP C8 Law of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to prohibit medical practitioners in the employment of federal, state and local governments as employees in the essential service sector from embarking on strike, and to accelerate administrative and judicial proceedings in the determination of trade disputes involving them and for related matters. Atigwe read out the long title of the bill and moved a motion for its second reading, while Christopher Okudili seconded the motion. The Deputy Speaker, Ahmed Wase, who presided over the session, has asked the sponsor to lead the debate on the bill. Another member, Iduma Igariwe, however, raised a point of order to cite Section 34(1) of the Constitution, which prescribes that no person shall be required to perform forced or compulsory labor. He said that he had gone through the amendments he intends to make, that it is an offense for medical practitioners to go on strike. What it means is that at all times they must be forced to work, whether the conditions are proper or not. He then said he thought it is run contrary to the constitutional provision. Agreeing with Igariwe, the Deputy Speaker said, "You can't make a law that will be over and above the constitutional provision. The only way you can do that is to amend the Constitution before you now amend the law. It is their right to exercise." The Deputy Speaker and other lawmakers then urged the sponsor to either step down the bill or withdraw it. Atigwe consequently withdrew the bill. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngigi, has confirmed that the federal government will look into the threat by the Academic Staff Union of Universities. The minister also said most of the union's grievances were domiciled in the Ministries of Education and Communications and Digital Economy. ASU has issued several threats of indefinite strike over what union tagged the failure of the federal government to honor some of the agreements it signed within it in the past. In 2020, ASU went on a 9-month strike, which was called off in December of that year in 2021. The union issued fresh threats and gave the federal government a 3-week ultimatum to address its grievances. The union later shelved the move following the payments of 21.1 billion naira end allowances and the release of 30 billion naira revitalization fund to the universities. Some members of the Nigerian Interreligious Council, led by the co-chairman, the Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Abubakar, and the president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Samson Ayokunle, visited the President Muhammadu Buhari over the failure to implement the Memorandum of Understanding the government signed with ASU in 2009 and other agreements. At the meeting, Buhari said the government remained committed to fulfilling the promises made to the union. Despite this, ASU issued directives to its chapters and encouraged members to continue mobilizing for the impending strike. Ngige, however, told journalists the truth is that ASU grievances are with the NUC, the Ministry of Education, and the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy. The issues are the deployment of the UTSAS and the White Paper report on the universities. Ebira Youth Congress (EYC) said she is perturbed and held sway in operational principle by the low enrollment of Ebira students for the 2022 Internal Senior School Certificate exams called WAEC, as occasioned by financial incapacitations, a gateway certificate into the world of all levels of higher education and career. These affected candidates have been considerably distracted and emotionally taken aback as the grassroots bleeds over the scary aura of such circumstance. Too sad a finding to reveal an all-time record lowest of enrollment in history this 2022, which consequently triggered our push for immediate grassroots intervention to this effect, as WAEC registration closure jingles in not too many days away. In his press statement signed and made public by the President, Obio Ateiza Aliu beckons the leaders of thought and very significantly intending political aspirants to utilize this window of opportunity to practically display some level of responsibility to prove to the people whom they already claim to want to serve and show some love. According to Obio, education is a hallmark of development in our place, and to think of how key such exists certificate calls for urgent serious concern. He says such a person who helped another to get an education shall not be forgotten in a hurry for wading in and for a rapt intervention, and hopefully enough that posterity will be fed to the person. We'll go on a short break. We'll be back soon. Stay with us.
Every country has its peculiar system of government. In Nigeria, we practice democracy, and this is applicable in some countries across the globe, including the United States of America. What is democracy? It is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. In the political arena, we are ready to x-ray how we play politics in Nigeria and other countries. The challenge of power shift syndrome, how it has impacted or affected the people. How can we make it better for all? Join Fatima Yakub on Mlc TV online every Saturday by 9 p.m. to discuss and examine all about the politics and the power that be.
Mr. President, I was once there as an opposition senator. There was never a time that we called the president at that time, who was a PDP president, an insult, because this is our institution, and if we don't conduct ourselves with dignity and respect, nobody will respect us.
The heads of security in Nigeria made several different explanations for killings of our citizens.
The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, I hereby forward for the confirmation by the Senate the appointment of the underlisted nominees as National Commissioners and Resident Electoral Commissioner for the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC.
To watch us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Mlc TV. Like our Facebook page, Mlc TV, and follow us on our Instagram, Mlc TV 2021. We are here to inform, educate, and to criticize constructively. Don't miss it.
Welcome back. You're still watching Mlc TV News Hour. The Ondo State Chief Judge Justice William Okintoroye said the state government has been working on ways to prevent prolonged detention of suspects in a bid to decongest the correctional centers across the state. The Chief Judge, who expressed worry over the congestion of prison and police custody in the state, described the developments as worrisome and said there was a need to nip the matter in the bud. Justice Akinrotoye stated this at the Administration of Criminal Justice Monitoring Committee State Workshop in Akure, the state capital. According to him, the suspects staying too long in detention at the correctional centers might become hardened criminals when they finally get out. Hence, the need to prevent prolonged detention. He said, congestion of the correctional centers is giving him a sleepless night. They are trying to see what they can do to decongest correctional centers and police stations. And not only to decongest, they are also trying to see what they can do to prevent some innocent people from getting there at all. It is better to nip some issues in the bud than allow them to snowball and start to run helter-skelter for solutions. On the Administration of Criminal Justice Monitoring Committee, the judge noted that the committee shall be charged with the general supervision of the administration of criminal justice in Ondo State. He listed the functions of the committee to include ensuring that criminal matters are speedily dealt with, that congestion of criminal cases in court is drastically reduced, congestion in prison is reduced to the barest minimum, and persons awaiting trial are as much as possible not detained in prison custody. The Pan-National Social Political Organization, the Arewa Consultative Forum, came hard on Ondo State Governor and Chairman of the Southern Governors Forum, Rotimi Akeredolu, for declaring that any political party that fielded a northern candidate in the 2023 presidential election would lose. The group argued that the governor, being a senior legal practitioner, should know better when it comes to electing anyone to occupy the nation's coveted seats. The governor, while receiving members of a group, the Power Rotation Movement, led by the chairman, Bogu Bitros, who also doubled as the chairman, Middle Belt Forum, said the 17 governors in the southern part of the country were determined to ensure that the next president comes from the south. However, the AACF, through its National Publicity Secretary, Emmanuel Yahweh, drew the attention of the governor to the constitutional provisions for the emergence of a president in the country. The AFC spokesman in an interview in Kaduna said, Governor Rotimi Akeredolu should know that any presidential candidate who intends to win the seat needs votes from 24 states and not 17 south and 19 north. This is what the Constitution says. Also, a former Secretary General of the ACF, Anthony Sani, reminded the governor that no zone should produce the nation's president on its own. Sani noted that for that reason, the zones must collectively produce the president to ensure the unity of the nation. He said he hopes that those who claim fielding a northerner or southerner as presidential candidates for 2023, depending on who is speaking, are aware of the import of the provision in the Constitution that before one emerges as a president, he must meet two important requirements to wit: secure the majority of votes and spread by garnering at least 25% of the votes in at least 2/3 of the states of the Federation, put currently at 24 states. Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State pleaded with members of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to play down their political ambitions ahead of 2023 general election and focus on how to unite the party to rescue the country from the All Progressive Congress (APC)-led federal government. Wike, who spoke in Jos, reiterated the need for the right thing to be done, saying that they have the material, but what they are contending now is everybody must come together. make sacrifices, and see how they can move forward. The Rivers State governor was in Plateau State on a reconciliatory visit to ensure that the crisis among leaders of the PDP is resolved. The governor expressed the party's concern on the lingering misunderstanding between former Governor Jonah Jang and the governorship aspirant of the party in the state, Jeremiah Hussaini. He said Nigerians are waiting for PDP. Nigeria is bleeding. Plateau State is not an exception. It is not about Christians or Muslims. It is not about North or South. The killings, the insecurity, the hardship, and the poverty is everywhere. They are more concerned about the insecurity in Nigeria. The only hope Nigeria has now is the PDP, and so it requires collective efforts of everybody. If they don't work as a team, Nigeria will not be happy. Speaking on his ambition in 2023, Governor Wike declared, he said he has not told them that he's running for any presidential election. He wants the party to be united. What is important is they must have a party before they can talk about the election. Without a party, what is the essence of running for an election? The former governor of Anambra State, Chukwuemeka Ezefe, said Nigeria and its citizens were too blessed by God to be deintegrated. He stated this when he hosted a presidential aspirant, Adewale Adebayo, who paid him a condolence visit at his Abuja home over the death of his wife, Njideka. According to him, although the country is going through insecurity and other challenges, Nigerians will overcome the situation. The ex-governor called on Nigerians, especially the youth, to unite and fight their common enemies, saying the people should expect a new Nigerian after the next general elections. He said, "We have a gem of a country. God gave us more than he gave any other country. No country has what we have. The men and some of the women in Nigerian's politics messed up God's design for unequal greatness, for a superpower among nations." Adebayo described Ezefe as a stabilizer in the country. He said, Ezefe is a national leader that reminds us what the country should be and what we should also be. When you were the governor in Anambra, you tried to unite the country as a family, showing that you want us to be united as a country. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency raided a popular garden in the Wuse 2 area of the Federal Capital Territory. No fewer than 8 suspects were arrested during the operation. The incident, it was gathered, caused apprehension among fun seekers who scampered to safety. An eyewitness told journalists that among those arrested was a foreigner. The source said, on Tuesday night around 9 p.m., NDLEA officers stormed a popular garden in Abuja located at Wuse Zone 2. They came in large numbers. They were everywhere. The personnel apprehended many people, including a foreigner. A spokesperson for the NDLEA, Femi Babafemi, confirmed the incident, adding that investigation was ongoing. He noted that those apprehended were involved in drugs. Babafemi said those arrested are not fun seekers. The NDLEA of today will never raid a place without credible intelligence, after which surveillance would be done. One person reportedly died in an accident that occurred around the office of the Directorate of Road and Traffic Services, also known as Vehicle Inspection Office, in Katampe area of the Federal Capital Territory. No fewer than 6 persons were also said to have been injured in the accident. Of the 6 injured, 2 were said to be in critical condition and are receiving treatment at the National Hospital, Abuja. The driver, who was said to have been on top speed, reportedly suffered brake failure. An eyewitness said the front tire of the vehicle burst while the driver was at high speed. He tried to apply the brake, but it failed. The car later smashed into drainage in the area. All occupants of the vehicle were seriously injured and are in critical condition. The spokesperson, Directorate of Road Traffic Services, Kalu Emutu, confirmed the accident. Emutu said it was a lone crash, but the vehicle was overloaded. 7 people were in the car, 4 at the back, and 3 people, including the driver, sat in the front. 1 later died among the 3 that were admitted at Maitama General Hospital, while among the 4 admitted at the National Hospital, 2 are in very good condition, while the other 2 sustained serious injuries. Now from our foreign desk, a passenger was arrested at Heathrow Airport after a woman said she was raped in business class on an overnight transatlantic flight from New Jersey. The woman said she was attacked by a 40-year-old man while others slept on the flight from Newark on 31st January. Officers boarded the United Airlines plane after it landed at 6:39 GMT and arrested the man, who has since been released under investigation. The Met Police said the woman was being supported by specialist officers. A spokesman said the Met was aware of an incident on an inbuilt flight. And on a sad note, a 200-level student of the Department of Linguistics and African Languages, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Ajibola Heritage Ayomiku, has died after falling into a ditch believed to be a sockaway in Beaver Hostel, one of the private hostels in the school student village, on Wednesday. Reports gathered that Heritage had gone to remove some clothes she spread on the line when she fell into the sockaway that was covered with some planks. Sources revealed that she was in the sockaway for over an hour before help could come, but was pulled out dead after concerted efforts. According to a statement by the Public Relations Officer of the university, Abiodun Olarewaju, the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Eitope Ogunbodede, led the management team to the scene, sympathized with the students, and commiserated with the parents of the deceased. Professor Ogunbodede, who described the incident as tragic and unacceptable, promised to critically look into the circumstances that led to the student's death and mete out appropriate sanctions against those involved or whoever is found culpable. Meanwhile, the leadership of the student union, reacting to the death of Heritage, have called for sanctions to be meted out to the owners of the hostel for causing the death of the student. This is as it described her passing as both tragic, unfortunate, and avoidable. In a statement jointly signed by Olayiwola Folaho Festus, President-elect Adewale Samuel Damilare, Secretary General-elect and Ogunpere Tofik Olelekon, Public Relations Officer-elect, the student stated that the deceased would have survived if the sockaway system was properly constructed and covered. They allege that despite the huge amount of money paid by students for rent, student life was still not safe within the school environment. The union, while demanding immediate justice for the deceased, maintained that doing so would forestall possible reoccurrence. The death of Ajibola Heritage Ayomiku is coming 3 months after the death of Aishat Omoumi Adeshina, a Part 4 student of the Department of Foreign Languages. Recall that the death of Aishat had earlier sparked a protest as the students accused the OAU management of negligence. Kate Heritage is a resident of Ibadan, Oyo State. Join us tomorrow at exact time to watch our news hour via our social media handles. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Mlc TV. Like our Facebook page, Mlc TV, Instagram, Mlc TV 2021, and Twitter, Mlc TV 1. For your event coverage, send eyewitness reports, information, contribution, advert placement, or sponsorship. Call any of our numbers displayed on the screen. I am Sherifat Mohammed. Thanks for watching.